Yeah, welcome back to Dr. Noah's U2 Update, and this has been in the news for quite some time now. There's a Georgia graduate student, about 24 years old, that was playing around in the backyard with a zip line, which is one of these things that you grab on and you fly all the way down, and I think, you know, it goes into a lake and you release, and that's how you dive into the water there. Well, she got a cut, got infected, went to the doctors, and unfortunately it's resistant to antibiotics. And the sad thing is this: we've seen these flesh-eating bacteria, these MRSA compounds that are exploding. You know, between 20 and 40% of people going to hospitals are starting to get these, and really there's very little that can be done except throw, once again, thousands of dollars at these particular type of infections with very little bit of benefit. And so this woman is already, you know, they've amputated her leg and amputated her fingers, and this article said the only good thing that's coming out is the dad, which is kind of a little morbid, is excited about writing a book about this and hoping maybe make a movie at it. So, I mean, it's just weird after weird stuff. So not only does this crap not work, and as I was talking to Cindy a little bit before, you know, come on. You know, here you're supposed to be, you know, a very educated individual. You're a drug doctor. Going to medical school is tough. You know this stuff doesn't work, so you keep giving it to them, and or your only solution is then you chop things off. As I'll go through, just last week, once again, what did these doctors read? I mean, that's kind of, here's an article here, and can you read that, John? What does that say?
Let's see.
Well, I'll read it.
Garlic proven 100 times more effective than antibiotics.
Let's see. And that was published in Journal of Antimicrobial Chemotherapy. This isn't a health food story, newsletter like that. These are, once again, this is from top type of scientists here. It wasn't just 10% better, it's 10,000% more effective than antibiotics. And as the research on antibiotics is, it works on a very fundamental basis that the bacteria can never ever become resistant to it. It's actually in the fundamental parts of reproduction of bacteria. That's great. Oh, but God forbid, you know, you could spend $50 versus like Cipro, and that's what they compared this to. Erythromycin and Cipro, which are the two, once again, most prevalent type of antibiotics, compared to, you know, using a natural compound that costs $1,000 a dose, versus you can go out for, you know, and there's different qualities. We'll talk a little bit about garlic. You know, there's lots of garbage out there. There's a classic study, which I don't know why it's in the Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology, but they did it there, about garlic. And they went to health food stores, and they took, you know, 20 other products. Most of them were junk. And so that becomes the real issue there. So you either need to go to a good health food store or a real functional medicine or health doctor like myself that knows the difference in the quality and the quantity of different types of compounds in there. But that's what's, once again, the sadness there is that we have these type of natural products that blow away the drugs. Doesn't even come close. It's not even like, well, I can take antibiotics or garlic, but, you know, well, my Kaiser pays for it, my Medicare pays for it, my Medi-Cal pays, I'll do just antibiotics. Well, now we know that it doesn't kind of work. Well, if that wasn't bad enough, a number of years ago, in a little publication called British Journal of Biomedical Science, 2004, once again, these are peer-reviewed scientific literature. This takes about 5 seconds on the internet to put, you know, antibiotic-resistant problems. So, I mean, I don't get it, but I do get it, because the drug doctors are pimps for the drug industry. And, you know, they get about $20,000 a year for using their crap that doesn't work. And so they don't want to bite, you know, I mean, it's pretty tough. I mean, would you be willing to, you know, say, hey, Dr. Noah's right, I'm not going to use your crap anymore and lose $20,000? Very few people are out there that do that. So in this article here, what's called antibacterial activity of a new stable aqueous extractum allicin against MRSA. So this is all well established. This was published, like I said, in 2004. Now, garlic has been used for, you know, thousands of years, but even the medical profession understands that, yeah, one, we have a problem, it's getting worse, and as Cindy was mentioning before, this problem is due to multiple type of reasons. One is 40 to 50% of all antibiotics are used in different types of meat production, because the animals are so sick, they've got to pump them with all these antibiotics. They are, once again, not regulated. The bugs become resistant. You eat that kind of crappy food, you get the crappy resistant bacteria, and now you become resistant. That also goes into our water system, it goes on our grasses, and it contaminates the whole environment here. And so where does it come from? It comes from mostly from hospitals, but now it's branched out like that. And so it's just kind of a sad situation. But, you know, the other scary thing is that, you know, okay, antibiotics can be helpful. But, you know, if it isn't a bacterial infection, we have this expensive antiviral compound. Oh, if that doesn't work, we have this very expensive. So now you have to take 5 or 6 drugs to deal with this. Yeah, what does garlic do? It's antibacterial, antifungal, antiparasitic, antibacterial we talked about, works against it, lowers cholesterol, thins your blood, helps your immune system. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Drug companies are petrified of stuff like this. Once again, this could eliminate, you know, 90%. One drug could, once again, or excuse me, one product could eliminate 90% of the drug companies out there with one topic, with one compound. What they like is very expensive for one particular type of problem. So there's 6,000 drugs out there. Once again, this one right here is 40 of them, right here, one of them. So you start adding all these natural compounds, you know, we get 20 compounds and eliminate all 6,000 drugs. But, you know, we don't want to talk about any type of effectiveness there. So the part here is that here's this poor young woman, her whole future's, you know, she was a graduate student, being mutilated, being butchered by this ignorance, and once again, not even knowing their own science.